Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and pause intermittently here and there to talk about things that are going on to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
I'm Captain Miles Yerwood, Homicide Commander at the San Antonio Police Department. This critical incident video release is intended to provide you with information, as the department currently understands it, about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in the 1200 block of Ada Street on May 29th. I'll walk you through the video relevant to the facts of this incident as we know them so far. Content of this video may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Police received a call just before 10:30 p.m. on May 28th regarding an intoxicated man who had fired a gun into the air.
My just got home and my son, my 29-year-old son, is severely drunk. He was trying to leave in my vehicle.
Okay, what is
one of my
son's
vehicles.
name?
Roger Flores Jr.
What is he wearing?
Blue shorts, a black T-shirt, tennies. He's still here, but he has a gun and he's shooting it in the air.
The caller later said Flores left the location and had also threatened to kill himself. Flores stopped along the intersection of Ada Street and Goliad Road and called police just after 11 p.m.
San Antonio 911, this is Miranda. Do you need police, fire, or EMS?
Shit, just all I gotta say, I'm getting drunk at the corner of a street. I got a fucking gun on me. I'm ready to fucking do this shit.
Officers responded and located him there. Officers formed a perimeter around Flores and attempted to de-escalate the situation, talking with Flores for nearly 2 hours.
I just need you to set the gun down and just walk towards me, buddy.
During the exchange, Flores continued drinking alcoholic beverages from a cooler he had in tow.
But you do have to set the gun down and walk towards me. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
During this time, a SWAT officer set up his rifle at a distance on Ada Street to provide cover to the officers who were set up on Goliad Road. Flores, who remained armed, toted his weapon throughout his encounter with the officers on Goliad Road. The alcoholic beverage is depicted by thermal imaging as a dark object in Flores' left hand, while the firearm is depicted as a lighter in color object in Flores' right hand. The SWAT officer, through a magnified lens, observed Flores raise his weapon towards officers and fired a single round, incapacitating Flores. A firearm was located next to Flores when he was taken into custody. Flores was taken to San Antonio Military Medical Center in critical condition. Flores remains in custody as of this publication and is facing a charge of aggravated assault of a public servant. Investigations into deadly force are comprehensive and can take over a year. A reminder, this is our current understanding of the situation and could change as the investigators gather more information. The San Antonio Police Department does not make any determinations as to whether procedures were followed until all facts are known. All officer-involved shootings are forwarded to the Bexar County District Attorney's Office for review. As of this publication, the investigation remains ongoing.
Well, that was shit.
Just got home and my son, my 29-year-old son, is severely drunk. He was trying to leave in my vehicle.
Okay, what is
one
your
of my
son's
vehicles.
name?
Roger Flores Jr.
What is he wearing?
Blue shorts, a black T-shirt, tennies. He's still here, but he has a gun and he's shooting it in the air.
29-year-old son. Drunk at mama's house. So you know that he probably lives there. And he's drunk and acting a fool. Pillar of the community right there.
Antonio 911, this is Miranda. Do you need police, fire, or EMS?
Shit, just all I gotta say, I'm getting drunk at the corner of a street. I got a fucking gun on me. I'm ready to fucking do this shit.
Okay there, buddy.
Remember again. I promise you, it's no jail, sir. You won't be going to jail, okay? I just need you to set the gun down and just walk towards me, buddy.
All right. So at this point, they said they've been with him for like 2 hours. 2 hours of trying to negotiate with this guy, de-escalate him, and then his camera looks like this. When I first saw it, I thought it was just like the condensation on the camera lens from being in like an air-conditioned vehicle and then getting out and into a hot, humid area, and then it's kind of like fogging over. I've had that happen before on another body camera of mine, and I thought that's what it was, but then they said 2 hours. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, this dude's camera's all jacked up, so I don't know what he's done to his camera. Maybe he's trying to clean the camera, and he got some stuff on the lens, and it's got this blurry effect to it. It could be like an oil on it from his fingers from where he touched it. It could be sweating. That's a very good possibility. It could be sweating at this point, and it's just sweat on the lens. Or the lens itself could be messed up from earlier cleaning and left kind of an abrasive finish on it. But this is really crappy footage right here, and especially it coming from a third generation body camera from Axon.
Yeah, Roger, I promise you, no, it's no jail time. But you do have to set the gun down and walk towards me. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
All right, so I like how they provided the aerial right here. So I guess he was parked somewhere right in here. Officers are here. This is, I would suspect that, you know, this is obviously where we saw the previous footage of him talking on the PA, calling out to him here. And it says SWAT officer here, but who knows if there's any other officers. But obviously his attention should be directed towards here where the sounds are coming from the PA. And he's probably completely unaware of the fact that there's a dude with a rifle pointed at him from over here, which is, that's good. Like, that's good tactics right there. Sometimes people just don't need to know that there's a gun pointed at them. That way they're just completely oblivious to it, and that's good for your advantage right there. You can get the surprise on them.
Copy now.
So, don't see any vehicles or anything nearby. Don't know what where his vehicle is at, but here he is.
Eagle, he's walking out a little bit towards the intersection.
So this camera, this FLIR camera, it's set to white hot. So the reason why his face looks all white like this is with this camera set up, everything that's warmer is going to have a whiter shade to it, and things that are cooler are going to have a darker shade to it. So that can of beer, that's why that's dark appearing, and this is why his face is whitish looking. It's just how the toning works. Now you can reverse that on thermal cameras. You can make it black hot. So if you would have done that, then it would just be a reverse. Everything you see that's white would be black looking. So his face would turn black, that can would turn white. It's just a different way of looking at things. And when you look at the art of thermography, based on the environments, how the objects in the environment are releasing the heat that they have absorbed throughout the day, sometimes you can get a better image just toggling between those two different views. There's an art, I guess you could say, to thermography. And I went through a class several years ago through LETA, Law Enforcement Thermography Association. It was a, I forgot what the title of the class was. It was a class for using thermal cameras for detecting clandestine cannabis labs and drug labs and shit. So, it was a Bullard tax site SE35 thermal camera, and the grant was through Department of Homeland Security. Wrote the grant for it, and we were awarded the thermal camera, and with the thermal camera came free training for it. And so I get to take a nice federally funded plane ride to Chicago. Stayed at the Palmer Hilton, I think it was called. Really nice place, by the way. Really super nice place. So freaking nice that the breakfast and the lunch for the training were provided to us for free. It was a buffet style, but it was like a luxurious buffet style. So there was like literally a dude at the end of the buffet line with wearing like the little, cliche wait staff uniform, like white uniform looking thing with button up, looked kind of nice like you see in the movies. He had a towel draped over his arm, and he had 2 pitchers there, one apple juice and one orange juice. And he'd tell you what you want, and then he'd take that and pour it, put the pitcher against his arm and pour your drink for you like it was some 5-star shit. It was pretty wild. I just remember thinking, wow, man, like, people's tax money is going towards this. Like, they could have found a cheaper fucking hotel. I mean, who knows what that shit cost. Anyway, the class itself was kind of boring, really. It went through all kinds of shit. Open field doctrines. It went through case laws, using thermal cameras to detect cannabis labs and all that. But showing what it was capable of, that was the cool part of it. So you can actually use a thermal camera to find clandestine graves or unmarked graves. So, excuse me, dirt, and I forget all the scientific stuff behind it, but dirt that is below the surface is a little bit different than the dirt that's on the surface. And so when you dig a hole and then you fill that shit back up and you look at it with a thermal camera, it's going to look different than the rest of the dirt around it. And you can actually use that to find a grave out in the middle of nowhere that was, dug, because that dirt that was once at the bottom is now at the top, and it looks different. The way it absorbs thermal energy and releases thermal energy. You can also find, of course, like clandestine hiding places within a house, like false walls, false floors, things like that. You can find false things within vehicles, so you can hidden compartments and stuff like that. That was kind of cool. And it also helps to find at night, like bullet casings and guns and shit that were thrown in the grass. That was a pretty cool capability for it. For very, very, very fresh things, you can actually see people's footprints going through areas and stuff. But obviously over time, that stuff would degrade. But they had talked about the white hot, black hot contrast, and I forget the terminology for it. It's something like thermal. I say thermal incline, but I know that is a terminology from my diving days. So I don't think it was thermocline, but kind of that same kind of thing. Within a certain environment where the temperatures are and how the thermal energy is releasing, one of the two may be better suited for viewing things within that environment. I just can't remember the damn name of it. It's been so long since I've been through that class. But thermal cameras are cool, man. Like, they are the cat's meow. They really are. Everyone's all fascinated with night vision. Night vision is pretty cool too, but there's some limitations with it. Thermals, I mean, it's hard as fuck to hide from a thermal camera. It really is. There's some techniques out there, some tricks to do it, but it's difficult. And when you have an aerial unit like this that is going to be most likely cooled cryogenically, it's going to be real nice detecting shit. So here I am on another rant again. All right, moving forward. So I thought maybe we could see like the impact or something, but obviously not. If these little crosshairs aren't in the way, we may be able to see a little bit better. So it almost seems like to me that right kind of there he got hit. And then so he gets hit and then he just lays down on the ground and then they pause it. So not much to see out of this video. So like this is the second video from San Antonio police that it shows a little bit, but there's really not a whole lot there. And that just could be by happenstance. You know, the first one, due to their open record laws, they couldn't show anything inside the house, and that's where the shooting occurred at, so that everything was blurred out. This one, like, you know, there's got to be some vehicle cams, most likely, or some other body cameras being able to watch it, something. Or maybe there wasn't. Maybe, you know, just like that first video we seen from the officer standing in the door of the car talking on the PA, couldn't really see a whole lot. So maybe that's why we don't see any of their camera footage. It's just they didn't really capture anything good, and this was the only thing that captured anything decent. But at the same time, it didn't really capture the quality that I guess that we would want. All we know is that SWAT officer had a rifle. So what do they mean by rifle? Fuck, I don't know. It could have been an AR rifle. It could have been a bolt action rifle. I have no idea. I would say probably, you know, AR style rifle, probably using, you know, some type of optic on there or whatnot. But really have no idea, so I can't speak to any of that. But he did observe this guy taking his gun and kind of pointing it in the general direction of the other officers, and so he acted in the defense of those other officers. Not much else to say about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.